Alright guys, welcome back to Couch Bros with Zach and Zoe here. We're going to be talking about, what we're talking about again today?
We're going to be talking about the slime today. We're going to be talking about
The Slife Life?
the Slife Life today, guys. We're actually going to discuss his time in the cave and just a couple little things that it didn't mention on the anime that's in the book. And, you know, there's a couple of confusing parts where it looks like the anime contradicts itself, but in the book, it actually makes sense. So, by saying that, I'm going to start off by when the slime was in the cave. Before he met the dragon, he was in the 90 days. Before
Yeah,
he met the
I
dragon.
remember we talked about that in the beginning for a little bit.
Yeah, so before he met the dragon, he was there for 90 days. He was blind. He could not see anything. So in the book, he was like, I'm probably going to go crazy because, as you guys know, when you put a man or woman inside
In solitude, pretty much.
all dark, they go crazy within 24 to 48 hours. So
That fast?
yeah, apparently so.
Dude, I would have lost my...
Because you lose track of time and all of that. But so that was the first thing that the slime was worried about. He was worried about that he was going to go insane. So as he was trying to figure out what was going on, that's when he felt that herb. So that herb, as you guys know, is a magical herb, and he can create a potion at 99%. I thought it was going to be at 100%, but apparently that potion that he creates from the flower is at 99%.
Are you sure 99? Because...
It's at 99 because the dwarves, with all their technology, with everything, after hours of producing it, they can only get to 98%. And the 98% to the 99% is a huge difference because in the book, on the part where when they're in court,
Yeah.
they show the what's his name?
Kajin?
No, the other guy, the
Oh.
minister. They show the minister with the one potion in the book, and he recognizes it because it's at 98%.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's what we make here. And then the king shows him the other one, and he didn't recognize it. He didn't know what that was. He knew it was a potion, but he didn't know what kind of potion it was until the king told him, this is a potion at 99%. And he was shocked. And that's just 1%. So, and it's crazy because the slime can convert these like this.
Yeah.
His body inside the cave, he was experimenting because of all the techniques and everything that he got from all these herbs. He can turn potions in a second. That's how long it takes him to process a herb to a potion. It takes him 1 second to convert it over.
Mm-hmm.
Plus that, also those ores that he found, those that magic steel ore. In the book, when they were showing the minister the actual the potions, they also showed the sword. They didn't show it in the anime.
Yeah, I noticed they didn't show it in the anime either.
They showed the sword, and the minister was freaking out because he looked at the sword and he's like, "Oh, I know what this sword is. We see it all the time, but it wasn't a regular magic sword. Apparently, the magic swords from there, the ones that the dwarf had, after you battle with it so many times, it gets stronger, and apparently." The ones that he produces in his stomach are 10 years old in battle, and they're super strong, apparently.
Wait, but why are they 10 years old, though?
I don't know. His body processes them so purely that it makes them super strong, because I guess they're like wine and whiskey. The older, the stronger, the better. So that explains why the sword and the potions are super strong when he produces them. But before he meets the dragon, he's there for 90 days. And as you guys know, no one can approach the cave because of the magic that the dragon dispels.
Yeah,
and
his aura.
My question was, okay, so if Rimuru is stronger than the dragon, he also is releasing that aura. Do you remember when he's outside of the cave, his aura's out?
Yeah.
And the goblins can feel it. The goblins are scared of him. I was asking myself, why were all these creatures scared of him, but that giant snake, that giant bat, that spider, they weren't scared of him? Why?
They probably couldn't sense aura because they were in the cave.
So this is what I found out today. So apparently, after he eats the dragon, he continues in the cave for a couple of days, or a couple of weeks. He's lost, actually. He can't find his way out, and apparently one of his skills is an auto map. He has an auto map in his brain, and once he accesses it, he finds that wooden door. But in the anime, before he finds that wooden door, he finds all these creatures.
Yeah.
So in the book, he doesn't find these creatures yet. He's actually training his water blade. It takes him about like a week or two to actually get that blade down. So now that he has all this weapon gear, he has the water blade and all that, and he finally reaches the door, but he hasn't reached any monsters yet in the book. So he gets to the door, and the door opens up. Those three characters come in. He avoids them, and the characters pass by. In the book, when he leaves the cave, that's when the snake comes, and that's when the bat comes, and that's when the spider comes.
Yeah, so he bumps into him pretty much outside in the forest.
And that's actually a very important part, because later on in a couple chapters down, it explains that the three guys, when they reported to the guild master, the guild master sends these guys, the three guys, because they're able to you know how they were able to turn invisible?
Yeah.
They're able to turn invisible so the monsters don't detect them. So the guy who sent them knew about these three monsters that were in there, because they were high-ranked monsters, and they were actually guardians of the cave.
Oh.
So that's why they weren't scared of Rimuru, because they thought he was a threat. And the explorers, those three guys, they had to be invisible, and they had to sneak through them, and they were able to sneak by them to get inside. But they were really scared of going outside, because they weren't sure if it was going to work again. So when Rimuru goes outside, those guardians, who are the monsters, who are not scared of him, not because they can't sense him, because they were actually
protecting.
They were actually put there to guard people from going inside.
Now, the question is, does it tell you who put them there?
Not yet. I'm still not there yet.
Like, but I'm just gonna guess. Because look at the hero sealed the dragon. He sealed Tempest, and so you have to assume that, I guess, maybe she put them there. But then again, I doubt it, because she's the hero. Why would she put them there?
It doesn't explain why yet. Again, I'm only like 4 chapters in. I'm not that ahead.
Yeah.
But so far, this is what I got from 4 chapters, where he was there for at least a minimum of 6 months inside the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a bunch of herbs. He has a lot of things in his body, and it actually tells you a percentage of everything he has in his body. The dragon right now takes up 50% of his body.
50?
15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah, it takes up 15%. The water that he has, it takes up 2%. And now we can compare the mass of water to the dragon. So he has 2% of the water. Mm-hmm. His water blades that he shoots out, he can shoot a few of them out, and that eats about 1 cup of water. So he can shoot about, like, I believe they said 5 to 10 water blades, and that's 1 cup of water. He has over 1,000 cups of water. Damn. So that's 2%. That should give you an idea of how much he has. Besides the 2% of water, the 15% of the dragon, he has, I believe, 1% of the herbs. So it's a lot of herbs. And then he has 2% of miscellaneous, items.
Just random stuff he found.
Things, like the stones and all that. So now knowing all of that, and now we know why the snake, the spider, and the bat were not scared of him. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, okay, it's contradicting itself, because apparently everybody's scared of him, but not these 3 monsters. Now we know why they're not scared.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to make it just a little.
I'm gonna have to start reading the novel, because I'm still, right now, I'm sorry, like, I got to Goblin Slayer, but I got to the part where the anime's gonna end, where the season 1 ends. I stopped right there, because I didn't want to, like, spoil more of the anime for me. And then I went back to Overlord.
But we're gonna keep this one with the slime, though. Another thing, when he finally exits, the second part of the cave, because even though he exits out that door, it's still part of the cave.
Yeah.
He's still inside the cave, and he's still trying to get out. So as he's trying to get out after he fights all these monsters and all that stuff, when he gets to the outside of the cave, he has an auto clock in his head, because he's trying to figure out what the time is, and he's like, oh, if it was in my time, it would be this time. And then his skill goes, oh, we're outside, we're going to go ahead and put your time with the other time. with the real world time, and now his predator also not only does it have an auto map, it has a built-in clock. He has a basically unlimited storage.
A GPS too, right?
He has a GPS system.
Yeah.
It's crazy, guys. I'm gonna try to get more information on it, and I'll release another video on it. Plus, there's an actual chapter on Gupta going to the dwarf kingdom, and it's amazing.
I'm guessing
It's amazing.
Is it now with his ability now?
No. This. Remember
like,
how he said?
Yeah, he said he's been there before, but like,
and it tells you the story. So I'm gonna write down all the key things, and I'll make a separate video on it.
Well, we set to make the video for the rankings.
So we'll leave it here, guys. If you guys have any other questions on the slime or anything you guys have questions on, let us know, and we'll answer them for you guys. Okay?
And then this is Gilgamesh, the little cat.
And if you guys need it, well, I guess that's it for
that's
this
pretty much
video.
it. Thanks, guys, for watching. You know what to do.